Hello, in this video we will talk about the Timebar. The Timebar is a complementary keyframe manager to the stacker and provides playback features as well as access to the curve board. The Timebar module is composed of several levels. We will quickly describe them and then get into details later. Above, you have access to the curve board, like I showed before, as well as the different playback features. Here, this black strip displays the timing scale. Then you see the different stackers and animation layers. And below you see the mini bar, which is a macro view of the time bar. At the right here, you have two framing features, frame animation and frame key range. Now let's talk about these features in more detail. The mini bar, this white range here, represents the current time bar range. So you can grab either the left or right and shorten the range of your time bar. You can also click and pan it. Then you can frame the animations and the frame key range with these two buttons. If you click on this button, then it shows you your full animation range. You can see that my mini bar has changed. And by clicking on this button, it zooms in on the selected keys. In the time bar, you can also grab keys depending on which stacker you are on. So you can only grab the key and change things from the currently selected stacker, but you can grab a key and change its timing. You can also right-click between two keys to create a new key. If you right-click on a keyframe, then you can remove keys. You can also select the following keys, and you have create fade in or fade out. And for this, I have to show you the fades. I have created a new stacker which has a head turn for this character. So you can see that if I play the animation, the head sort of remains in the same position. So here I can create a fade in and a fade out, and now the character will begin in the positions it was when I didn't have the head movement, and it'll fade into that animation, and then it will fade out of that animation. So you must use the fades with layers below, like so. Not just on one single stacker. So if you have an animation and it only has one stacker like this, then when you use a fade in or fade out, then your animation will fade into the ref pose. So you want to make sure you have multiple stackers. On the top here, we have these buttons. This one is for going to the first key in your animation. This one is for going into the previous key. And then here you have play full animation. So this will play the full animation and it will automatically loop your animation after the last key. And this is considering all of your keys from all of your stackers. So if I had a really long animation stacker and I clicked on this button, then you can see that the animation plays all the way up to here and then loops, like so. And so this is even if your time bar is really short, it will play the whole thing, even whatever is outside of your time bar. The play button also has a tiny square here, and this is to signify that it has an alternate behavior. If you right click on it, then it will play animation infinite. And what this means is that when you begin your animation, it'll continue playing in time. So it launches a play and it never stops. And so because my animation is a loop animation, it continues, but if you were to do it on an animation that isn't a loop, then it'll just keep going. Now this second play button is for playing the animation range. So again, if your animation range is short, then it plays the current displayed range in your time bar. So from the very beginning of what is shown to the very end, and it'll loop from this point. Now here we have next key, and here we have go to last key. And now here you have your time bar settings. Here you can change the displayed stacks. So I can change this to only display 3, 1, or 6. Here you can change the time unit of your animation, so milliseconds or frames, and here you can change your animation frame rate. So currently I am at 50, but I can change it to 30, and so on. And that is your time bar.